The freshmen line up before the gigantic goddess statue, waiting for fire, water, earth, or wind to answer their call. The instructor tells the legend of how Gaia blessed weak humans with the four elements, and the hall fills with hope. One by one, students awaken their magic. Neil even stuns everyone by pulling in two elements, and the nobles start cheering. Then all eyes turn to our MC Lewis, and nothing comes. Louis feels his mind being squeezed, like an unseen chain is trying to snap his will. He screams, breaks free, and four colors rush to him. Yet every time he reaches out, the lights slip away. The instructor only smirks, confident the confinement circle and a magic forbidden orb under Louis's tile will crush him in silence. But Kara senses the trap. Louis shatters the tile, exposes the orb, and a four-color vortex erupts. Even the principal steps in, because what's waking inside Louis is not normal. And when the power finally bursts, ice and wind explode, turning the temple into a frozen nightmare. Well, how did this happen? One morning, a large crowd of applicants gathers at the entrance of the Candria Arcanist Academy. But Louis isn't surprised by this because he expected such from one of the Empire's top Arcanist training schools. When he hears someone scream his name, he turns back and sees his parents panting from exhaustion and complaining about how he left them in the dust on their way to the academy. Out of concern, his mom, La Ciela, asks if he brought his ID and warns him to make sure no one notices his hair color, but he assures her that he's fully equipped with his ID and hair dye. However, she's still very anxious and suggests that he shouldn't go through with the exam because she heard that some examinees die during these exams, which means that someone could target him because of his hair color. His dad, Julian, calmly places his hand on her shoulder and tells her that the only way to solve Louis's problem is with magic. He also explains that the academy is the only academy in the Northern Empire where commoners can take the exam. The Candria Arcanist Academy is the premier institution that was established by the Candria royal family, and one of the 10 great academies that has the Empire's strongest Grand Masters as teachers. Some of the graduates from this academy over the past 10 years became guardians, even those who didn't have noble backgrounds. In light of this, Julian suggests that it's the perfect environment for Louis to learn magic, and Louis confirms that he's right before telling his mom with fire in his eyes that he has to become a Grand Master so that he can obtain ownership of the orphanage from the church. Hearing this, La Ciela is stunned, but she suddenly starts crying while calling herself a terrible mother for making him worry about the facility and not being able to cure his rampage. Julian calms her down by reminding her that she's already doing a lot by taking care of so many children, and Louis adds to that by thanking her for being the sole reason he's alive. In his previous life, he dreamed of becoming the world's strongest warrior, but that was impossible because he had severe asthma, which made him unable to live without a respirator. His parents started hating him for costing them a lot of money, but he still didn't lose his passion for martial arts, and soon that passion bore fruit as he was able to become a scholar researching martial arts theory. His research greatly contributed to the evolution of the fighting industry and the revival of martial arts, but things went